music? Who likes Burning Spear music? Peter Tosh music? All this is roots music, right? But some people say that the roots music is dead. But roots music can never die. Bob Marley music can never die. Peter Tosh music can never die. And what are they saying? What are they talking about? Who say that the roots music is dead? Go ahead. Shut your mouth.
My name is AKA Super. Call me out of a freaking Pinocchio maneuver. You claim a lover's lover, but I don't care about who you know. Super lover, so my name is the lover. So maybe you're a lover, but girl, still ain't super. Touching me like I was a guy, so what don't maneuver? No, I'm introducing the thing myself if I'm who you know. She's my marker, but my middle name is the lover. So whether I dance or whatever I do say, girls, I got them out for me the same old routine. Without me is the lover, my job is done and I'm being one. Loving every girl, but I only like it and seeing one. Super, super, girl, I got them rockin' to every funky party, my jam is on and that rockin' too simple. My entertainer makes them get down, so bust the super like you thought that I'm doing the James Brown, James Brown, James Brown, James Brown, James Brown, James Brown, James on my me or I ruin you. Shot you with my mic simultaneously as I'm doing you. First, I own one of them, but you do some of them. Now my job is flying precision and seldom telling it. So they call me super, hey, come on, I ruin you. Super lover, see all you see, or as I'm doing you. First, either Calente, but here's the beat, you do some of them. Not in Puerto Rican, my black is my knobby kicking them. Hope to make them jump in the girl, like, oh, my business. Said I say to the blizzard, well, that's what type of blizzard is it? But super is the storm and the microphone where I'm speaking to. Maneuvers called the wind and the thunder's the big and seeing one. Chopping up the show and performing, we got them rocking to. But it's doing work for these funky doing that rockin' to saying, hyping up for causing you to get down. So us is what we doing, work with it, doing the James Brown, 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 James Brown. I've been holding out so long. I've been sleeping all alone. Lord, I miss you. I've been hanging on the phone. I've been sleeping all alone. I won't kiss you. Well, I've been howling in my sleep. I've been starring in my dreams. Around the time. I've been waiting in the house. Been waiting on your call. Your phone rings. It's just a friend of mine to see. Hey, what's the matter, man? They're gonna come round at 12 with some Puerto Rican girls that's just dying to meet you. We gonna bring a case of wine. Hey, let's go mess some food around, you know, like we used to. Yeah, we gonna do it on midtown, you know, we gonna mess some food around. Hey, man, what's with you? Yeah, you've been strung out for too long, you know. Girls will come and go, they're just like street cars. I say I've been staying in too long. You know, sometimes I feel abandoned. Baby, I say, wow, 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 wow. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Sunny, you smiled at me and eased my pain. Now the dark days are gone, now the bright days are here. Sunny one, joy so sincere. Sunny one so true, I love you. Ooh, Sunny, I wanna thank you for the sunshine you gave. Sunny, I wanna thank you for the love you brought my way. You gave to me your all and all. Now I feel 10 feet tall. Sunny one so true, I love you.
That was fun. Hi. Andy Gibb. It's funny. I just heard for the very first time the original song from the one they use on the Barry Gibb talk show on Saturday Night Live. What song? What was it? What is it called? That song. Nights on Broadway. I had never heard Nights on Broadway before like 3 days ago. And I'm like, well, this is the best Bee Gees song. How did I not know this? I mean, besides the one that you do CPR to, right? That's probably the best of the Bee Gees songs. All right. Sales were okay. Not complaining. Here's what sold. This was on auction. They paid yesterday. Generic Scenic Greetings from Holly, Colorado. Sold for $6. Crouching Lion. Same customer bought this card. Crouching Lion in watercolor, Kahana Bay, Oahu. Also at auction, $5.95. Not at auction, though, is Turquoise Jewelry Chrome postcard. There you go. Passat card. Navajo Indian and their Hogan, Arizona, New Mexico, $2.66. Franconia Notch, New Hampshire, linen postcard, multi-view, right? Old Man Watcher, Indian Head. Yep, there we go. $2. Woo! This came from that big lot of art ephemera I picked up in Gresham. This is a radioactive cat art installation by Sandy Skoglund, who's a fairly renowned artist. I think this is a super cool card. Very unique. There were other solds. I got $6. Here is the Dream of Italy, patriotic, $4.46. The SS President Cleveland, American President line, $3.55. Same customer bought the SS President Cleveland in a different time for $3.95. Metropolitan Building at New York City, kind of beat up, sold for $1.75. Echo Lake, Franconia Notch, White Mountains, New Hampshire, sold for $3.55. Last but not least, Lights of Pasadena and Los Angeles, California. Chrome, $2.66 with free shipping. So not a big money postcard day by any means. I think we had like 3 $6 cards, and that was it. We did have a couple of other decent sales, though, so we'll get into those in a minute. Not a ton going out, but I want to circle back real quick to kind of where ended the show yesterday. Somebody had asked me a question on my opinion about the upcoming election. And there was a few things that I feel like I failed to mention. One, it is my channel, and I will talk about whatever the fuck I want. You want to talk trash about whatever candidate you want to talk trash about, get your own channel or talk about it here, but be prepared to show your work. Two, Donald Trump is a piece of shit, objectively speaking, and I will gladly talk trash about him anytime I fucking want. on the show, off the show. That said, I am always willing to engage in intelligent conversation, and I am genuinely interested to hear anybody who may have a different opinion than my own. And I would love to hear how you may have come to said decision or opinion, and ask you a lot of questions about it. Did I not grab a card? I think I didn't grab a card. So hold that thought. I'll be right back. Let's see if I can hold that thought. Nope, I grabbed it. And 3, read what I put underneath every single video. All right, that is all. Very true. And like I said, I am not by any means a huge supporter of Biden. I am, however, a bleeding heart, cuck liberal snowflake. And unashamed of that fact. Hella woke. One of the stupidest fucking words on the planet. Yep. That word basically jumped the shark the day that DJ TJ used it for the first time. All right. Postcards already done. That easy. All right, sold a belt buckle. This is one of the last few from Packwood last year. This is Kansas. Kansas. I agree with that. 100%. I think that people forget that change is slow. And all the things that you may do to try to change things, you're probably not going to see the results of those changes in a single election cycle. I'll for instance, if you look at the kids today, these kids today, they have, in general, a far more accepting attitude towards a variety of not, and when I say kids, I mean like we're talking like, for the sake of this argument, like Gen Z, even millennials, Gen Z, and kids who are in college now, far more accepting attitude towards different sexual orientations, different, and I'm not, obviously this is not every single kid out there, but different sexual orientations, different types of romantic relationships, absolutely more accepting of different races and cultures, and this frightens Republicans to the core, or conservatives, I should say. I shouldn't necessarily even say Republicans, because you can still be a Republican and relatively politically liberal. That change did not happen overnight. That change started some 20 years ago, 25 years ago, with my generation, and even the one before that, and even the one that probably before that, making a pretty conscious decision on how to raise children. All right, that's not working. It should work, but it's not. It's a long game. How do you change it? Incrementally. I mean, yeah. All right, fine. That's not working. Gay marriage has only been like legal in this country for what, 15 years? Less than that, 10 years. Days in the military, less than 20. A lot of times the changes that where the seeds are planted, you're not going to see the results probably sometimes in your own lifetime. And if you look at, a lot of judges, politicians, they see that too. They know that a lot of it has to do with legacy and what creating a better world for the next generation and the generation after that, the generation after that. Question is, do you care about the generation after yours? Whether or not you have kids or not. I mean, do you care about leaving the world better than you found it? A lot of people, like in the last election, or even, with a lot of the other stuff happening in the world, they're like, well, I want to be able to tell my kids that I blah, blah, blah on the day, blah, blah, blah. Pick your event, pick your politician, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Which is just another way of saying, I want to make this world better for my kids than I found it in. I don't think you can argue or maybe you can, and I'd like to hear it. That intolerance in any form leads to a better world. And just to circle it back, the tone that conservatism and the far right and Donald Trump have taken has really just stoked the fires of intolerance. And there is plain evidence for that. And I understand the argument as well from the other side that says, oh, well, the woke right or woke left is trying to steal the country and brainwash the kids and, turn them all trans, which to steal a absolutely ridiculous statement from my boring reselling life. Nobody's trying to turn kids trans, but we are trying to turn kids to being accepting of those who might be trans. And also, if a kid identifies with a different gender, when that kid becomes an adult, they shouldn't feel bad about doing whatever they need to do to be happy. All right, next up, I'm going to put this on screen. I picked this up on my way out of the flea market. It was it had a $3 price tag on it, but I put it in a bundle. I think I ended up paying $10 or $15 for the whole bundle of stuff. It is a Martin backpacker guitar bag. I thought it was a gun bag when I picked it up, and then I got it home and figured out what it was. But still like a $45 bag. So pretty happy with that. But at what age? When they're old enough to make the decision. If we allow kids to vote at 18, I think at 18 they probably have the ability to make choices about their own body. And if they identify as a different gender, I don't think there's any reason to treat them other than any other pre-trans or pre-op transsexual. If a kid wants to be identified as, whatever opposite gender they were born as, then I let them do it. Support kids in whatever decisions they want to make for themselves. Just make sure that you're doing the best as a parent to inform them. Bag, nice and easy one. Goes in poly bag, then done. But that term, trying to turn our kids trans, is such a ridiculous statement, and so oblivious and uninformed. Yep, we had that as well. I had it in Catholic school. So, so that was fun. All right, next up. This is pretty cool. So I bought a bunch of car owner manuals, like for $10. I got like a stack that big. And in there, I found this souvenir program for Prince Olav and Crown Prince Martha. They visited Tacoma, Washington in 1939. This is the souvenir program. There's the happy couple. I listed it for $40 and it sold in like an hour. I actually started the listing at 35 and I'm like, I bet I can get more out of this. And I still think I probably left money on the table, but I'll take $40 in an hour. It was a super easy list. I'll be right back. And, I realize like all of that stuff really just is stemmed in fear, fear of the unknown, fear of what's different. And and that can all change when people become better informed. And I'll cite, like, again, sort of gay marriage and just attitudes, generally speaking, not obviously not unanimously speaking, but attitudes in general just towards homosexuality now versus just even 15, 20 years ago has changed dramatically. But 15, 20 years, that's not fast change. And that battle started really, in the 70s, I think probably is when you can make that argument. Like in the 50s and 60s, like if you were gay, you were closeted. That just was how it was. There was no out and proud at that time, and nobody even really talked about it. I remember my grandmother, not super long before she died, talked about this gentleman who lived in her neighborhood, during the 50s, who was friends with all the ladies, was the best dressed man in the neighborhood, but was a perennial bachelor, and like never said gay. She didn't, but she like gave you everything you needed to know, essentially to imply that much. And that's just kind of how it was. That stuff wasn't talked about. It was hidden away, and it wasn't really until not long before my life started that was even something out in the open at all. I think that you shouldn't send kids to high school without some education about sex. Yeah, I believe that. I think in the like 70s, 80s really was when you probably started seeing that a lot more, which judging by you were born in 66, 70s, 80s, like Florida, like Miami, Florida Keys, and New York City, Los Angeles were kind of like the places where that was happening. Miami, New York, Los Angeles, right? No, what I'm saying is like 7th to 8th grade, at that point you're a preteen. I'm saying don't send the high school kids to high school without some sort of sex education. I don't think it's too young to start teaching kids who are 7th or 8th grade. I think before that, yes, you're absolutely right. Way, way too early. Like 4th, 5th grade, no. But I also don't think that you should shield kids from why one kid might have two moms. Like I don't think you should like hide kids from reality. As a kid who was very sheltered growing up and hidden from a lot of reality, shielded from a lot of reality, I can speak from experience that it does no good. All right. Last item. I bought this at a yard sale last year on Mother's Day. It's a cookie press. I had a few of these. I think I still have a couple of them. Basically, like new with tags, but since it was pre-owned, I sold it as new, or sold it as used. $9. Somebody came in with an offer for $5. I countered at $9. They came back at $6. I declined the offer. They came back at $8. Countered again at $9. It was already on sale. They're basically getting 20% off, and then they bought it. And it's super cheap shipping too. So they should be thankful. They should be thanking me. Here's the other thing. And kids are going to be kids. I would wager there's not a single person who's in this chat right now who didn't receive, I shouldn't say didn't receive, who didn't hear something, see something, like have a friend talk to them about something sexual before they went to high school. Guarantee you everyone in here had that. Odds are it was either false information or a skewed view of sex or sexuality to some degree. Like finding a porn magazine or I don't know, any number of things. Maybe somebody, a perfect example. Here's a great example. In grade school, a friend of mine told me that a dildo was a fake penis that slipped over a regular man's penis, a regular penis, so that a man could have sex with a woman. True story. Hilarious, obviously untrue, right? But I probably carried that belief or thought until I was, received education otherwise. I found a Hustler magazine in a dumpster when I was like 8 or 9, dumpster diving for cans to recycle to go make money. Yeah. Kids are going to get exposed to it one way or another, especially nowadays with the internet and phones and all of that stuff. You can be a good parent and be able to monitor your kids' activity, but you also have to trust that every other kid's parents are going to do the same, and not all of them are. Someone's going to have something on their phone. Someone's going to have figure out a way around a blocked browser. It's going to happen. So you might as well get in front of that and make sure the kids are getting accurate information and not just shit from their fucking friends. All right. Well, I shipped all the things, which means we're done. We'll be back tomorrow. Assuming something sells, we are currently a goose egg for sales on the day. I have already listed one thing this morning. I'll show that real quick. I spent yesterday cleaning and sorting cassette tapes. I got some listing done, but there was a lot of listing and sorting and cleaning. Some of those cassette tapes were pretty dirty. Oh man, come on, eBay. Spinny, spinny, spinny. I don't think it's my internet because I'm still live here. Got your first Playgirl at 16. There you go. Let's see here. When I was still 16, one of my friends had turned 18. And of course, like, we gave him money and had him buy all the shit we couldn't get. So I was 16. I think the first like dirty magazine that I ever like bought and paid for. Kids are going to be able to do it. Like, it doesn't matter if you keep sex out of schools. Kids are going to find out about sex. The question is it going to be a realistic and accurate depiction and piece of information, or is it going to be skewed and distorted and outright false? All right, so here's listing one of the day. 115 country music cassettes. Didn't pay for a single one of them. Well, I did, 50 cents. And I got like 2 more lots I have to do today, similar to this. But this was the biggest, so I decided to knock it out early this morning. But yeah, it's got everyone from Lee Greenwood, Travis Tritt, Ronnie Millsap, Patty Page, you name it. Conway Twitty, Johnny Lee, Lee Rittenauer, Joe Conley, Lee Greenwood, all the Lees. All the Lees and all the Travises. All right, everybody. Catch you on the flip flop. Peace out. Bye.